has nobody noticed this? A brand new article revealing new information about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga released 2 weeks ago after the newest gameplay overview, and nobody is talking about it. And there's actually some really neat information in here about new character class perks and lots more. So we're just going to read through the article, and I'm going to discuss the main points. So LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga dev discusses massive combat changes, adding British humor, and more. So yeah, thanks for all the support on my last Skywalker Saga video. Subscribe if you're new, because I'm going to be covering this, and let's just get going. So first here we have the little intro to the article. This just kind of has some of the highlights, but we really want to get into this section where they actually ask the questions and get the answers. So the Skywalker Saga adapts 9 movies. That's so many. Why go so big? And how do you go about boiling it down to avoid the package coming across as overwhelming to players? And then the developer, who did it say the developer was again? James Bergen, the senior producer at TT Games, okay? So with an incredible IP like Star Wars spanning decades with millions of adoring fans, it's hard not to go big, and you really can't bring yourself to leave anything out. The first game came out over 15 years ago, and it's a joy to behold how far we've come. We always try to outdo ourselves with each LEGO game we make, and this one is no exception. There's an entire galaxy at your fingertips, filled with rich, vibrant planets begging for you to disembark your ship and roam around in. It is a celebration of Star Wars through and needed to be. So let's go to the next part. That wasn't much. Know that players love exploring our free play content. I think they meant free roam, as you'll see in a bit. So we made the story levels snappier and more action focused. Having pre-levels take place on the planet surfaces makes for a more cohesive experience overall and makes the game feel more like a journey rather than 2 separate modes of story and free play. So these pre-levels are the levels that take place in the hub world in between the main story levels, which we did recently learn are going to be 10 to 15 minutes long. So they also said here that players can hop between trilogies, we knew that, or enter Galaxy Free Play, which I think they meant to say like Galaxy Free Roam, to explore at their own pace if they choose. Having that freedom means players can take their time and immerse themselves without feeling overwhelmed. Nice. They've got a little gallery here, nothing new. So the ability to start with the game from any trilogy sounds great. I personally enjoy the sense of freedom when a game allows for it. What drove that decision from your design perspective? From the offset, we wanted to let players start a trilogy they connected with the most, reiterating the fact that Skywalker Saga spans decades and fans of all ages. We knew players would want to jump into the action of their fondest trilogy. Newcomers might want to jump straight to Jakku with Rey and BB-8, or more veteran might want to start with Tantive 4. As freedom was one of our key pillars during development, they stated that like way when the game was revealed. We knew we had to give fans the option to jump straight into the trilogy they wanted to. So then they ask, I read that combat is new and different in Skywalker Saga. Can you walk us through how combat works and what's new and changed this time around? So there's a bit of new information in this part. So combat has had a massive overhaul in the game, we know, but enemies will block or even try to rush you. We saw blocking in the trailer, but trying to rush you, and you can either combat roll out of the way, counter these ambushes with a special attack, or switch up attacks to break their block. Those are a bunch of different options in the combat we did not know about, so that's pretty interesting. And then this next part is pretty big. I mean, it's a small information, but I just don't know how people haven't noticed this. We've also introduced character classes, which were revealed in the recent trailer, which all come with their own upgrades. For example, you can upgrade protocol droids to emit shockwaves when they detach their upper and lower half, stunning all enemies in a small radius. So we saw the protocol droid in the trailer. We did see it we saw it break in half, but there were no enemies around it, so we had no clue that had anything to do with combat. So it's neat to have a little more information. They also say here we wanted to make combat overall more engaging with more ways to use character quirks to your advantage and add that sense of power and progression. So everybody in the game, every character looks like it's going to be a bit different with combat, which looks really neat. And then force powers can be used with free aim, allowing you to grab any nearby Lego rocks or debris and hurl it at enemies nearby, which we've known that for a while, but we didn't know, which is extremely satisfying to do with explosive barrels or even battle droids themselves. It was kind of obvious that there would probably be battle droids that you could force lift to each other, but now it's confirmed. Same with blasters, you can now free aim and shoot the enemies with precision, allowing you to complete control on how you save the galaxy and defeat the Empire. Yeah, so we know that, the free aim. Then next, they say TT's games are always imbued with a sense of humor and levity, even if the fate of the galaxy is hanging in the balance. How are you approaching humor with the Skywalker Saga, which deals with some heavy topics and themes? That's British humor for you. You can never take yourself too seriously. Working so closely with Lucasfilm Games and the LEGO Group was great in ensuring a balance where we were staying as true to possible as to the source material, but also approaching those moments with a softer, more light-hearted touch. It's incredible that even after all these years we can still find a great gag or make a unique take on a classic moment, and that really is just down to the sheer creativity of the fantastic team we have here at TT. Alright. Despite this being our fourth outing to the galaxy far, far away, there were still hundreds of new ideas being shared on how we can inject some humor into certain scenes the only way Lego minifigs can. And then they say, I've always been impressed by how the LEGO games seem to be aimed at younger audience, but it appeared a wide range of ages. And the secret there, apparently, is that they can admit that all the devs are children at heart, or all humans are children at heart, regardless of our age. When we work with such a globally known IPs that everyone knows and loves, there's a comforting feeling in taking a break and seeing your favorite characters roaming around in Lego form that I believe appeals to anyone and everyone. Yeah. Humor is always a key point. There are cutscenes in the game that I have, of course, seen hundreds of times during development, but they still never fail to make me laugh. That sounds promising. It's finding the balance between accessibility, whimsy, and with a true fan service since we provide that all players, young and old, engage and enjoy our games. It's been a number of years since the last LEGO Star Wars game, which was The Force Awakens in 2016. How have you seen the gaming landscape evolve since then, and how is the Skywalker Saga being developed to accommodate what gamers want in 2022? And there's interesting information in this part too, so really listen on this part. We have, I think it's clear to see in the footage of our newest gameplay trailer that we have reimagined what a LEGO game is with LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, while keeping it familiar enough to feel like an evolution of the formula, which that sounds really nice. So it's not going to be like a total overhaul, it still feels similar. And then this part, take the holo projector for example. It's more than just a simple navigation tool. You can keep track of all current quests, which I think we sort of knew from a way back article like a year ago. Set waypoints across the galaxy, which was just recently revealed not long ago in a accessibility report for the game. And then it also says use studs to purchase rumors on how to unlock certain characters and vehicles and much, much more. that is brand new. That sounds really interesting. We have not heard anything like that. Using studs to purchase rumors, like rumors going around the galaxy on how to unlock certain characters and vehicles, and much, much more. But, like, that's really interesting. Like, this feels like this it's just going to immerse you in the game so much. Like, we never thought anything like this was going to be in the game. So, that's just neat to see. Yeah, this game is really next level. We've also naturally taken advantage of the new generation of console hardware where possible to deliver the best looking LEGO game to date. I think that's a typo there. And then, so this part is interesting too. You've got, I think, hundreds of playable characters. Obviously the big ones are there, but what was the decision-making process for choosing which of the less widely known characters to include? And they say the beauty of Star Wars is that every character, no matter how little screen time, naturally ends up having a backstory we can dive into and create a quest around. So some quests are going to be to do with different character backstories, which sounds neat. And then this says it was a struggle to keep the playable number below 400, but in terms of NPCs, I think we almost hit 800. We already knew the NPCs made the character count to 800, but we had only heard that it was over 300 characters. They said it was a struggle to keep the playable number below 400, which means there are closer to 400 than 300, which means 350 plus, but probably like 380 playable characters or something, which means like maybe 50 more characters than we saw in the game, which is crazy because it's already so many. And then it says, the Star Wars galaxy is so rich with creatures and alien races that it was difficult to define a cutoff point, but I think hardcore fans of Star Wars are going to be pleasantly surprised at who made it into the roster. And then, anything else that people should know? And this is a nice wrap-up for the article. It just says that the team, and I want to say thanks to the gamers and fans for their patience and sticking with us whilst we work hard on delivering the biggest and most ambitious game ever. We're just as excited for April as you are, and we can't wait for players of all ages to immerse themselves in exploring the LEGO Star Wars galaxy we've created. So that's a good wrap-up because it was very hard to develop the game and people were asking for news. So they're just happy that they can finally get it out. If you're wondering where this article is, it's GameSpot.com, and you just look up like interview article LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga from GameSpot.com. I do want to say though, if you want to share this information on your channel or whatever, definitely do that, because I bet people have more theories on this too. But please credit me for noticing this, because I have literally not seen anybody else take this into account on YouTube. Like, even smaller creators, I haven't noticed this. So, I'm pretty sure I'm the first to cover this on YouTube. So, yeah, I guess just subscribe if you're new, and like if you enjoy, subscribe so you know when more videos about Skywalker Saga comes out, especially on February 19th, when we're going to get more in-depth gameplay on the game. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, thanks for all the support recently. Make sure I win the subscriber war with my friend to get to 100 subscribers first, because he's at 83, and as of recording this, I'm only at 30, but we just gained like 7 subs in a day, so we can get there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.